Mythology isn't all gods in the sky and noble heroes slaying monsters. Sometimes mythology gets weird, really weird. We're talking about shape-shifting tricksters giving birth to eight-legged horses, gods battling with their own body parts, and creatures made of bones, spit, or pure nightmare fuel. These stories aren't just strange for the sake of being strange, they reveal how ancient people made sense of life, death, chaos, love, and everything in between. So, sit back. You're about to hear some of the most bizarre, mind-bending, reality-breaking stories mythology has to offer, from Norse epics to Aztec fever dreams. Let's start in the frost-bitten north. 1. The horse Loki gave birth to, Norse mythology. You've heard of Loki, the Norse god of mischief. You probably know he's a shapeshifter and a bit of a troublemaker. But did you know he once turned into a mare? Yes, a female horse, seduced a stallion, got pregnant, and gave birth? Here's how it went down. The gods were building a great wall to protect Asgard. A mysterious builder offered to construct it quickly, but asked for the sun, the moon, and the goddess Freya in return. Loki convinced the gods to accept as long as the builder finished alone and in time. Turns out, the builder had a super-powered horse named Svadilfari doing most of the work. It looked like he might actually succeed. To sabotage him, Loki transformed into a mare and seduced Svadilfari. The wall didn't get finished, the gods refused to pay, and Thor smashed the builder's skull in. But months later, Loki returned, and he wasn't alone. He had a foal, Sleipnir, the eight-legged horse. Odin took it as his personal steed, fast, unstoppable, and born from chaos, just like Loki. 2. Cronus eating his children, Greek mythology. Greek mythology doesn't shy away from the grotesque, but the story of Cronus takes the prize for divine family dysfunction. Cronus was a titan who feared being overthrown by his own children, because that's exactly what he did to his own father. So, naturally, when his wife Rhea gave birth, Cronus swallowed each child whole, one by one. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, all eaten. But when Zeus was born, Rhea tricked Cronus by giving him a swaddled rock instead. Cronus ate it without looking. Zeus grew up, came back, made Cronus vomit up his siblings, and led a full-on divine rebellion. So yes, Greek gods are powerful, but they're also fueled by revenge, deception, and a lot of bad parenting. 3. The contest of spit, Japanese mythology. Japanese mythology has its quiet moments of beauty, but also weird moments like this one. When the storm god Susanoo was banished from heaven, he wandered the earth and eventually challenged his sister Amaterasu, the sun goddess, to a contest to prove who was more powerful. The contest? Making gods out of each other's possessions by chewing them up and spitting them out. Susanoo took Amaterasu's jewelry, chewed it, and spat out 5 male gods. Amaterasu chewed his sword and created 3 goddesses. Somehow, this made him the winner. But instead of celebrating, Susanoo lost it. He rampaged through heaven, destroyed rice fields, threw poop around her palace, and eventually caused Amaterasu to hide in a cave, plunging the world into darkness. A spit contest. Welcome to Shinto mythology. 4. Set steals Osiris's body twice. Egyptian mythology. Egyptian mythology loves drama, but no feud was messier than the one between Set and Osiris. Set, god of chaos, was jealous of his brother Osiris, who ruled as pharaoh. So he invited him to a party and brought a custom-made coffin. He dared anyone to lie in it to see who fit. When Osiris climbed in, Set slammed the lid shut, sealed it with lead, and threw it into the Nile. Osiris drowned, but that wasn't enough. His wife Isis found the coffin and hid the body. Set found it, cut it into 14 pieces, and scattered it across Egypt. Isis gathered all the parts except for one, his penis, which was eaten by a fish. Still, using magic, she resurrected Osiris just long enough to conceive their son, Horus. So yes, death, dismemberment, fish-related penis loss, and magical necrophilia all in one myth. 5. The demon king with 10 heads, Hindu mythology. In Hindu mythology, the Ramayana tells the story of Rama, a prince and avatar of the god Vishnu. But the real scene stealer? Ravana, the demon king of Lanka. He had 10 heads, not metaphorically, literally, each with its own mind, desires, and voice. He was a scholar, a musician, and a powerful sorcerer, but also arrogant and obsessed with power. He kidnapped Rama's wife, Sita, thinking he could seduce her. Spoiler, he couldn't. Rama teamed up with an army of monkeys, led by the mighty Hanuman, and waged war. In the final battle, Rama shot a divine arrow straight through all 10 of Ravana's heads, killing him. Ravana's bizarre physiology made him terrifying and nearly invincible, but also tragically human in his pride and delusion. 6. The Aztec earth monster made of crocodile, fish, and serpent, Mesoamerican mythology. The Aztec had some deeply weird creation stories. One of the strangest involves the earth goddess Shapeshifting. She wasn't a goddess in the normal sense, more like a cosmic monster, part crocodile, part fish, part toad, covered in mouths and teeth. The gods Quetzalcoatl and Tezcatlipoca needed to create the world, but Shapeshifting was in the way, literally. She was the endless, devouring chaos under everything. So they attacked her. Tezcatlipoca lost a foot in the fight, but they managed to tear her apart. Her body became the land, mountains, and rivers. But here's the catch. Shapeshifting wasn't dead. She was still alive and constantly hungry. So that's why the Aztec believed the earth must be fed with blood to keep her from consuming everything again. 7. The goddess who gave birth through her armpit, Mesopotamian mythology. In ancient Sumerian mythology, the goddess Ninhursag is known for shaping humanity, and one of her strangest tales is about a divine childbirth. It starts with Enki, the god of wisdom and water. He had a habit of, let's say, overspreading his creative energy. One day, he ate some forbidden plants created by Ninhursag. In retaliation, she cursed him. 8 different parts of his body began to fail. His ribs, his eyes, his feet. Basically, Enki was falling apart. Then, Ninhursag vanished. The other gods panicked. Eventually, they convinced her to return and heal him. She gave birth to 8 new goddesses, each assigned to heal one part of Enki's failing body. One of those goddesses, born from Ninhursag's armpit. Another from her thigh. Apparently, Mesopotamian gods didn't follow the usual rules of anatomy. The moon goddess who lives there because she drank too much. Chinese mythology. In Chinese mythology, the moon isn't just a rock in the sky. It's home to Chang'e, a woman who became immortal in one of the weirdest ways imaginable. She stole and overdosed on an elixir of immortality. Her husband, Hoi, was a great archer who saved the world by shooting down 9 of the 10 suns scorching the earth. As a reward, he received a potion that would grant eternal life. But he didn't take it. He wanted to stay with Chang'e. One day, while Hoi was out, Chang'e got curious. She drank the whole potion, and it was too much. Her body became light, her spirit detached, and she floated away from the earth, all the way to the moon. There, she's been ever since, trapped, alone, with only a jade rabbit as company. Some say she regrets it. Others say she watches over us. Either way, the moral is clear. Immortality isn't always a blessing, especially when you chug it all at once. So, what do we learn? That gods can be just as reckless, emotional, and strange as humans, if not more. That creation often involves destruction. That some myths explain the world not with logic, but with wild imagination. And that ancient people, just like us, tried to make sense of the unknown with stories, no matter how bizarre they got. These myths weren't meant to be polite. They were meant to shock, to teach, to entertain. And thousands of years later, they still do. If you like this trip through mythology's weirdest corners, there's more where that came from. Because if there's one thing we can count on across every culture, it's that myths are never boring.